Not quite half of it, I think. But you can see there's other things on the patio also. There's a small greenhouse, and there's a barbecue, and there's a leftover TV dish that I don't use anymore. But you can see I've got my plants in 17.5 gallon buckets, baskets, whatever you want to call them. I've got a couple of tomato plants, two different kinds. They're growing, getting pretty tall. Got a few on there, more coming on, all kinds of blooms. In the bottom, I've got some carrots. I move over here to this side, and on the far end down there, under the dish plate, satellite dish plate, there's a small green pepper. Knock the pepper off. Hopefully there's going to be another one grow back. And then I've got onions, wall of sweets, and you can see they're coming along pretty good. Up above that in the chair, I've got some peppers, some jalapenos, and also some yellow peppers growing. They're doing really good. The next basket over, I've got some volunteer tomatoes in both of these. I don't know how they got there, but they're coming along, and I'm just leaving them alone. They got blooms on them. I've got lettuce in there, and I've got some beets. Those are doing real good. That last one has got some radishes in it, volunteer tomatoes, and some carrots. Don't see many carrots. What these are, you can see the white PVC pipe sticking out of them, and you can't see it down below, but down below, about 5 inches up from the bottom, there's a hole. And what I do is, these are called wicking beds. Inside there's some 6-inch drain pipe with holes in it, 2 sections of it. On top of that is weed fabric, and down the sides, and then on top of that is where I put all the compost. And what happens is I fill the wicking beds with the through the PVC pipe, comes up to the 5-inch mark. Anything over that, it flows out. The compost is sitting down in on the ends. It's sitting down into the wet area, the reservoir, and it just wicks up to the base of the plants. And so it cuts out having to water all the time, and cuts out them drying out real fast. The PVC works great. I got this idea off another YouTuber, and they seem to be working really good. I'd recommend them to anybody. Up above here, I've got a swimming pool, 2 kiddie swimming pools that I put holes in the bottom. What I've got here is a steel patio set. It's a big table, steel, and I put the swimming pool on there and filled it up with compost. And then I planted some kale, which come up real good, a little bit of lettuce, and I got cucumbers, and I've got some cucumbers on there. I got one about 6 inches long, and I'll probably pick it today. In addition to that, I've got some cabbages in plants down here. I don't know how good they're going to do, but they seem to be growing somewhat, and we'll see if they take off. I don't know whether it's too hot or whether it's going to work out or whatever, but it's a pretty good little experiment. Basically, this is my garden. You know, people say, hey, I don't have enough room, I don't have enough space. You know, you can still grow some stuff, even if it's in one of these pots on a very small area. You can grow. Like I say, these were over Bimart, these baskets with handles on them. Cut a hole 5 inches up, and then I made wicking beds. Some people I know bought some. They just put holes in the bottom. They just water it every day and make sure there's plenty of water, growing potatoes in them. Over at the community garden. So there's a lot of things you can do. You know, excuses are excuses, and even if you have a small area, you know, there's nothing beats the taste of something you grew yourself. A cucumber, a pepper, a tomato, especially a homegrown tomato. There's nothing beats it. You know, you get these tomatoes coming from other parts of the country or even out of country, and they've used who knows what, and they're just tasteless. They look pretty, they're nice and round and orange, but they have no taste to them. Me, I like stuff that I've grown myself. I use the kale a lot in juicing. I do a lot of juicing. It works really good for the digestive system. It works good for moving things through, as they say. I really enjoy it. You know, it doesn't take a lot of space to have a little bit of a garden. And you know, the way things are going these days, there's no telling what the food situation is going to be. I'll go into that in another video, probably close to this one. But I just wanted to show you my my little garden. And like I say, it's 140 square feet, and I'm using probably maybe half of it, if that. I'll be using the greenhouse in the fall. I didn't get around to use it this spring, but I'll use it in this fall, and I put mounted on a little dolly, and I can move it in and out of the garage or in and out of my bedroom. And I got a grow light in there, so I can start things or keep things going. Anyhow, I just wanted to bring this to you. And one of the things that I keep forgetting, and all the time I keep forgetting when I make these videos, is if you like them, please subscribe and hit the like button, the thumbs up. It really helps me quite a bit. And I plan on making these and continuing on in this survival series for seniors and for anybody. We'll be talking about quite a few other things. I think probably the next thing we'll talk about is a secondary means of cooking. I've got about 4 means of cooking, 4 or 5, I don't know what, I lost count. But I'll bring up another one in case you lose power, in case you lose your natural gas, whatever you cook on. So I'll be bringing that up. You just need to plan for the future. Not necessarily the end of the world or the apocalypse, but if there's something comes down the pike, a small disaster in your area, that you lose power, a hurricane. You know, out here where I live, we're always talking about the big earthquake. And when a big earthquake happens, maybe it won't affect my house so much as it will affect all the items coming into the house, like water and sewer and natural gas and electricity, all those type things. And it may be a while before people get some help when something like that happens. You know, I remember seeing in New York when they had the hurricane come in there and the water levels come up or whatever.